It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And welcome to the Rebel Geekdom. This is Nerd Breaking News. We just came out of watching the Mario Galaxy movie, and we have instant reaction. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, don't want to get spoiled, this is the moment to go ahead and click out. Come back to it once you finish watching it. For those who want to watch it, before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our episodes. So I think what we should do is first talk about Rotten Tomatoes, those numbers that we were seeing before we got into the film, and kind of set up what our expectations
Well, let's
were.
get the updated ones, right? Like, so earlier in the day, Mario got overwhelmingly amount of bad critic reviews, as opposed to the well, right now it's 43% Rotten Tomatoes for the critics, and it's overwhelmingly over 90% for audience score. So in reality, the audience score is what matters. If people like it, that's great. Go make your money. It's gonna make a lot of money this weekend. Let's start off with the story, right?
Yeah.
Story. So the story, I think it starts off with Rosalina, right? She's with the Lunas, the little
stars, and they're basically telling the story of Princess Peach and Super Mario, and it just seems to be like their favorite story. And then all of a sudden, here comes Bowser Jr., ends up kidnapping her. And it's basically this whole plan of rebuilding this whole planet specifically for the Bowsers to go around and just destroy everything.
They need her and her power to, I guess, fuel or energize the weapon, the Doomsday weapon that they want to do. So that's what's going on with Rosalina. She's pretty cool. She's voiced by Brie Larson. She's powerful. It's just if something happens, you got to see it where like she gets distracted by one of the stars.
Yeah, we can spoil.
We're spoiling.
We're spoilers. So
she gets distracted by one of the stars, and then she gets kidnapped, and Bowser Jr. is essentially doing it for, I guess, in honor of his father. Then with Mario, remember they start off with the desert planet. It's with the motorcycles. They get called. It's implied. They're not really.
They showed up to go to work. Basically.
Hey, we need your help. Something happened, and then so they go in there and they find Yoshi. Yoshi does the back. He says in his own language the backstory of what happens. They don't understand it. He becomes part of the crew automatically. Like he's in the house.
They known him for years. Apparently.
Yeah. So
that's how it goes.
Toad is he's jealous, whatever. So he becomes part of the crew. Then they go to the Mushroom Kingdom because it's
for Peach's
birthday.
So they were all getting ready to celebrate basically for Peach's birthday. And all of a sudden, there's this light show coming in, and it just so happens to be one of the stars that got captured and was able to escape Bowser Jr.'s casing, and basically told Peach exactly what was going on, that they need to go out there and go save Rosalina. So you have the turmoil between the people, basically saying, "Hey, you shouldn't go. Like you're supposed to be."
Who's in that room? Who's in that room?
Oh my God! All right, we'll jump into that in a few.
Jesus.
So basically, Princess Peach decides to just go out. Go saves her. Mario basically goes after her. They have their both different sets of adventures, and eventually they end up saving her.
Yeah, so long story short, it's one of these things where both groups get separated. They get back together when they meet Star Fox. Peach has to go through this whole thing with Toad, trying to find Rosalina, and then a lot of the Super Mario Brothers 2 villains like Ward and Birdo, they're there at the casino thing.
Yeah.
And then they fight them
off. By the way, after they show him in the call, that was it, right?
Wart?
Yeah.
Well, Wart calls them, right? He calls Bowser Jr., hey, let you know what's going on after that. That's
so that was pointless, too.
That was pointless. Yoshi also does this thing where his backstory, he's in New York. He's implied he's in New York.
Oh my God,
he's wearing a baseball cap. He's walking the streets like nothing.
Like
nobody says anything. Donkey Kong is not in this movie, by the way, as he was.
He just showed up in that little flashback.
The little flashback. Yeah. So he's not in the movie. So Yoshi is actually pretty prevalent to what happens in the story.
Yes.
And okay, so they go different sides. They meet up with Star Fox. I thought Star Fox was all right. I thought that they needed a pilot for the sake of the story. So he's looking for a way home. That's what he's his
Yeah.
So they they go together. They eventually, long story short, they go against Bowser Jr. at the end of the climax. Bowser is horrible in this movie. Bowser has this thing where he's going back and forth as am I good? Am I bad?
Yeah.
And then eventually Bowser Jr. is trying to tell him, this is who you are. I did this for you. And then I mean, I guess we can say
he basically becomes
during the climax of the film, Bowser falls to the lava reminiscent of the old Mario games, and he becomes the Bone King.
Yes.
Bowser version. So essentially, Bowser's dead. That's just the undead version or the zombie version.
But then at the end, he continues fighting, and then once the ending happens, they connect and they turn the whole planet green. They're running around trying to find his bones.
He's still Bones Bowser.
Yeah, he's still. So Bones he's not.
Bowser. The Turtle Bowser is done.
Yeah, so no more Turtle Bowser. It's Bones Bowser for the rest.
And that's so the end. The end is also convoluted because so Bowser Jr. has this cool move, or the way he does his fighting with the paintbrush, which allows him to use his imagination for weapons, which is pretty cool, kind of like Green Lantern-ish.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So then, at the end of the fight, where Princess Peach goes to save Rosalina, Mario stays with no power-ups, fights Bowser Jr., who's actually pretty cool at fighting.
Yes,
and Bowser.
He looks amazing, though.
Yeah, he looks cool. And Bones Bowser.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting wiped. And then, but for the grace of God, here comes Luigi and Yoshi with the power-ups. They lose the power-ups in the fight. Yoshi gets the big balloon version of the power-up.
Comedy spot to kind of throw.
And so, long story short, they ended up beating them by convoluted Yoshi. It goes up in the air. They win the fight. Rosalina gets saved. Everything goes happy. They all meet each other. They rebuild the Mushroom Kingdom, physically the castle, because they got destroyed when Bowser Jr. takes them out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the story. And then the end credits is Daisy and Bowser Jr. So so that's
the basic general story.
That's the story.
Of it. So now let's actually jump into what we were seeing about this film and how kind of like some people are already describing it. And I think like one of the best descriptions that's out there is like you mentioned it yourself. Like for whatever reason, this film looked like and felt like there were TikTok shorts just going forward. It was just snippets. Kind of, I'm going to take you here. Let me introduce you to this beautiful section that you played in the game. Let's move on to the next. Let me show you another world. And that's kind of how it felt throughout the film. It was like, just let me jump it from world to world, show you the different characters, how they interact. Yeah. We had this whole scene where, Mario's like protecting the castle or the kingdom, right? And you just see snippets of him fighting with different kind of monsters.
Just to show you. Remember the game? Remember the game?
Yeah. And that's exactly what it felt like. It was just like TikTok shorts, one right after, and somehow it turned into a film. And one of the worst part was that whole Yoshi thing in the back, where like when they did the back story for him. What really killed me was there was one scene where finally, like, it sounded like New York got tired of him and were chasing him off, but it was like the people chasing him were the people that were in the store, and then it was random people chasing, and then it was police,
the cops, the museum people.
So it felt like one of those like AI films that you just see now, where they're just telling you some convoluted Reddit story behind the AI. It was so gimmicky in a way that at that moment I felt like someone used AI in this film, and it kind of felt like
I'm gonna go real quick. I guess the list of characters, and then we go on further our analysis. One, Luigi's trash. He's the same scaredy cat as he was in the first one. Mario's
so distressed. Basically.
Mario seems like he was just there on his own movie.
Yeah, and it also felt weird that they were trying to push this story of romance between him and the Peach.
I think you had to.
I know
because the first one. Yeah,
I know you had to, but at the same time, like it didn't feel.
Natural.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel natural.
It didn't feel natural at all.
Toad, man.
Like you regress, bro.
That's bad because I thought he was
horrible in the first one. He was pretty rough.
Yoshi was there, I guess. He was coolish.
Comedy.
Fox there, I guess.
Comedy.
Bowser was horrible. I thought the best character was Bowser Jr. He was my favorite character in the movie. I was like, he's cool.
He looks cool.
Yeah.
He looks cool. He actually
his motivation was cool.
He had a good motivation. Exactly. He has good motivation and had a. No, he definitely was the best character in my opinion.
This is look when we saw the trailer. I think, and we talked about it in the channel. I said that I'm going to say it again. The problem with this film, outside of no story, which Mario's never had a story, so I get it. The Mario fans are going to get mad.
Hard. Yeah,
it's very hard to do a 90-minute movie on a project where you didn't have. But here's the problem, guys. There's over 40 years of lore. 40 years. The first one, while it was like a very light story, you could still be like, all right, it's a straightforward story. Here, there was no straightforward. It was all over the place.
Yeah.
And again, you shouldn't have gone with Galaxy. You should have, because you know what kills. I said when we talked about this, they should have gone to Super Mario World. That's where Yoshi's first appearance was in 1991. What's the last image before he gets the cape and he flies? It's literally the Super Mario World.
Yes.
So I'm just like,
you missed out.
You
missed
Galaxy, because now what? You did Galaxy. What's next? And so it's for me.
And you're hinting the other girl, Daisy already. Yeah. So where are you going to go with this film?
Wario and Luigi, I guess, is next, right?
It has to be.
And then it's like a Mario and Luigi go against them. And I'm bored. I was bored, guys. It was a very I was. If it was 90, it was shorter than the first one, and I felt like it was longer. I was bored.
I think I counted you looking at your watch like 7 times in the film.
A lot of
because I was that bored too. Like there was nothing else to do. We ran out of popcorns, and there goes my entertainment. It was rough. It was a really rough film. It was
convoluted.
I really wish that they would have worked more on actually building on some kind of story that actually flowed.
And it's there. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. Every time something happens, they have to go do something else real quick. For me, it's guys, wait for streaming. Yes, I wouldn't recommend you guys putting money out there like that for this movie. It's gonna make a lot of money this weekend. But me and you were talking about when we walked out the theater. The first one made 1.3 around there. The first one a couple years ago. This is not touching that.
No,
it's gonna have an opening great weekend.
I think it's gonna be a great opening weekend, like you said.
Yeah.
And like we mentioned, and while we're walking out, it's just simply that once this weekend's over, the word of mouth, especially
we went to go see it in IMAX. It was dead.
Yeah, there was only like 10 people max.
It's not the problem. Is
that might be an economy question.
Yeah,
not because of the film.
Correct.
But I think like the film definitely is going to get impacted because the people that actually have come out are going to be doing instant reactions like we are doing. People that are going to be talking to their friends about the film. Well, there was something special about this film.
If you like Mario and we like when we grew up with Mario, we're Mario fans. I could see elements of this movie being cool. I could see elements of this movie being like, yes, there were reminiscences of the film, the games that I played. But when the story's so bad, and you can now see why the critics destroyed this movie, like they did the first one.
Yep.
I just don't think it's gonna hit 1.3. I just think it's not going. I think if it hits a bill, wow, you got in dramatically lucky, and you need to work on that for the next one. And by the way, I didn't feel that the Super Brawls. Oh my God,
Super Smash Bros.
I didn't feel that because I thought when we saw Fox, oh man, we're gonna connect. No, I didn't feel it.
No.
So
and they did Fox's backstory like real quick, real instant. Like
now that we got it,
it's like all right, now that I got the story out, let's actually do this. I'm like, I hope there's a film to actually go more in deep into that because that actually looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it's they need to be listen financially. If they hit a bill, good for them. I just think that you can't trick people 3 times in a row.
Correct.
I mean, Transformers did, but Michael Bay did, but you can't. But it's a different era, it's a different time, and I think you can't take it for granted. And the fact that you went Galaxy for me is the biggest thing. Galaxy came out in 06, 07. Yeah. Mario came out in 85, so you skipped, so much.
20 years.
You could have done Sunshine, you could have done 3, you could have done World, and so I just think that it's now what. And when you're bored at Super Mario Galaxy, I don't know how you get us back for part 3.
That's gonna be rough, exactly. Yeah. I honestly believe, this will be my final thoughts because of the time. I really believe that the best scenes of this film will end up in TikTok. And if you see those 2-3 clips, I think that's it. You've seen the best scenes in the entire film. Everything else is just bland. And I think that unfortunately, unless you come up with something better, this movie is gonna be rough, and whatever is coming up for you guys, I hope you guys plan better on the story because this was rough.
And I hate the fact that it perpetuates the whole notion that Super Mario, because I'm a huge Zelda guy. I hate the fact that it says to the critics of Mario, you see, there's no story because in the games there's no story. You're kind of helping that because of this movie has no story. Correct. So the first one we gave the C. I gave it a straight D- maybe. It was bad.
Yeah, I'm a little nice. I'll put it at D. I wouldn't go
Okay.
minus.
All right.
I think there's still some
dangerous
element
to
You know,
go
I'll give it a D.
alone.
You're right.
Take
Right.
this.
I think there's an element of nostalgia.
Let's give it a D for
for,
nostalgia. Yeah, let's give it a D for
yeah,
nostalgia.
yeah.
But yeah, guys, just streaming.
Streaming will be
Yeah.
your best choice. Now, if you have seen this film and you disagree, definitely let us know in the comments. Tell us why we're wrong. If you agree with us, tell us where you saw that maybe we didn't bring up in this film. But until next time, fellow nerds, this is Nerd Breaking News.